What's up, peeps? Welcome back to my channel. I'm Jen, and you've made it over to Copper Cactus DIY, where I share furniture art, faux finishing, and decorative painting. And I keep things real, sharing my wins and my epic fails. In today's video, I am making over this two-piece 10-drawer melamine cabinet. It's in fine shape, as you can see. However, it's just basic, and if you look around my studio, you will see I am anything but basic. In an effort to de-basic my life, I am going to fully make this over with some hand painting, some spray paint, and I am testing a new to me paint as well, so stick around if you're into videos like this. My first step is to clear all 10 drawers of the massive amounts of stuff that is in them. Clearing didn't take long. I just stored everything on some trays. As I went, I marked the drawers and the inside of the cabinet so I would know where to put drawers back. Inside the cabinet, however, I only marked the top drawer and which side of the base it was, left or right. Once the drawers are sprayed, that will mark them for placement anyway, since I'm doing each row in a different color. With things cleared, I could get everything out into the workshop. I started my scuff sanding using a 150 grit and by hand. Yeah, that lasted like 30 seconds, max. I decided to go with the sander and vacuum combo, which is my literal auditory nightmare, but it's my less labor-intensive dream, so I went with it. Scuffing every surface, vacuuming off and out of the dust, and wiping everything down with clean water at the end took me about an hour. I left things to dry for about as long. Then I started the long and crouchy job of taping everything off. These drawers nest inside the outer edge of the cabinet base, so they're not going to need perfection on the edges, and I'm also not doing anything with the inside or the underside of the drawers. For the cabinets, I used original strength frog tape and press and seal to protect the inner workings, but turned out I opted not to spray these, as you'll see happen in a minute, so this was a bit overkill. But this wasn't. The drawers needed full coverage, and the entire process of taping the inside as well as the edges, then applying plastic wrapped tape to all 10 drawers, actually took me near 4 hours. Yeah, that might sound off, but this clip alone took about an hour to film in real time. And just like Thanksgiving dinner, a full day of prep for something that's over in like 20 minutes. I was ready for spray paint coat 1 at the end of taping. Each set of drawers only took about a minute to coat, and I attempted light coats, but I pretty much failed at that. I went as light as I could on the edges, and then I went for more even coverage on the faces. Since they're face up, the paint settled nicely despite it being a bit thick. I love the palette, but some paints are a little bit more patchy than others. That's a bummer, but it is reality right now. But the drawers are done for coat 1. I'm not spray painting the cabinets. I'm gonna actually do those with chalkboard paint instead. So I'm gonna do that in the morning after I get a second coat done on the drawers. But my palette, my office, my studio. Yep, I like it. I like it a lot. Yeah, I lied. I decided it would be better for dry time to have a first coat on everything that first night. Let me tell ya, a full day in the workshop, crouching and bending over to paint, yeah, I fell asleep on the sofa at like 9:30 that night. But worth it. I left everything to dry, and I dropped right after dinner. I have no idea at what point the camera battery cut out, but I came over here to check it and it was dead. And unfortunately, I didn't realize until I get down here to edit, but that entire clip of me doing the second coat of the chalkboard paint on the cabinets and the spray paint on the drawers, totally corrupted. I can't open it with any program. I have tried multiple programs and it ain't happening. So I'm really sorry, but I guess you guys are just gonna have to live with one coat action for this one. I finished up. Let me show you all of this now. Here we go. Second coat. I have a feeling this one's gonna crack because it ended up going crazy. And this pink, even though I shook it and sprayed it pretty evenly, it's got bubbles. I'm not gonna freak out about it because this is like my first spray paint project in a long time. Normally I'd be pretty upset, but we'll see how it settles out. I'm just gonna leave the garage door open for a while and hopefully no bugs land in any of this, but it's drying down pretty nice and I think I'm only gonna need 2 coats. I might need a third really light coat on the purple, but everything else looks good after 2, so yeah, I guess I'm off to edit video then because this part is done. Oh, and this part is done too. I'm only doing 2 coats on these, and then on the side here, this is where I'm gonna be hand painting, so stick around because that's coming up pretty quick in YouTube time. Not so quick for me, but definitely quick for YouTube time. I'm gonna get top coat on all of this once everything is fully dried and cured, probably tomorrow morning. Since I lost all of my coat to footage and I discovered that I would indeed need a third coat, here's a bit of that purple beauty instead. I hope you enjoy. You want to hear something hilarious? This is the spray tent that I was supposed to have to do this project, and it just arrived today, which was 2 days later than the initial estimated shipping time. So this is the condition the box was in. Yeah, hi. Okay, Wagner from Home Depot. At least I have this now for the next project I have, which is another spray paint one, so this will work out great, but would have been nice to have this instead of my janky old setup in here. Good morning, everyone. I just had Mr. CC DIY capture and release a few spiders out of my workshop. So now I'm set and ready to go with all this. Yeah.
Looking colorful.
Yeah, I know, right? So excited. Exactly.
Okay.
Bye. Thanks. Once the arachnids were dispatched to the outdoors, I first chilled out, and then I ran a 600 grit over the drawer faces. That smoothed over any dust or particles that might have landed on the surface overnight while they were drying. I wiped that immediately back with a dry rag, and I moved from the lightest to the darkest color, wiping down the sanding pad between to avoid adding the wrong color to the wrong drawer. Then I gave a coat of polyacrylic in a matte finish to all the drawer faces and left them to dry. Next up, brushing on one thick coat of Varathane Triple Thick in a matte finish over both cabinets. And this ends up being not my last step on these, but that's coming up in a minute, so stick around. And while you do stick around, make a middle-aged artist happy and subscribe. To me, subscribe to CC DIY. I'm the middle-aged artist, just in case that wasn't clear. I finished these off camera. I pulled the tape and plastic as soon as I finished top coat. And I did the same for the drawers, though I did wait until they were dry to the touch to avoid anything smearing. Okay, so let's talk stuff. I moved stuff out of the garage so we can park in here again, which, don't get me wrong, I'm happy to have the option, but it's nice to park in my garage. This one, I didn't pull the plastic yet on the side because I want to make sure nothing happens to this on its way back down to the studio, but I'm not doing that till these are dry. I did just want to poke in here real quick though and show you one thing, because the other one, you can probably see it, because I can. All of my taping off was literally for naught. I should have got sloppy, because there's a whole white bit here that the drawers do not come out far enough to cover. So I'll fix that also down in the studio, but like, how nice is this looking so far? Pretty excited. Back in the studio, I get to taping off to fix that visible inside edge. I started this process the same as the rest, with the Country Chic Clear Bonding Primer as coat 1, and that meant leaving it for 12 hours to fully cure, which meant overnight. With that dried and cured the recommended time frame, I added 2 coats of black using an artist brush. I actually did a speed dry with the hairdryer on this first coat, that way I would get the second coat on quicker. I don't normally do that with this paint, but these inside edges are never going to be touched as long as the drawers stay put. So I'm not really worried about scratching or damaging that part of the cabinet or anything, plus I trust the primer to do its job. So the truth is, I guess I don't want to say afraid, but I'm definitely pretty nervous to do this step. Hand painting is probably my weakest skill where it comes to painting and this creative world. I go into stuff like this thinking like, oh yeah, this is going to be so easy. And then it doesn't look perfect on the first try, and then I get super discouraged and I'm very critical of my own work. So this time I'm just going to kind of like lay back. I've got like 5 days to make this happen. So if it happens today, that's great. If I have to paint over it with white paint, I'm just going to go with that this time. I'm trying to be more zen, and I'm trying to be a little bit more like my friend Kat over at Owling Dog Design. I don't know if you've seen Kat's channel, but if not, I will link to her below. I'm also going to link to her Cat Savage Art channel. She has started doing some hand painting stuff and has been inspiring the crap out of me lately. So again, linking below, definitely go check her stuff out because she's just really good. She just kind of like embraces it and goes for it. A lot of my artist friends actually just do that. So I'm trying to take some inspo from all of them this time around and just go for it. So if you're seeing that clip up here start growing onto the screen, it's because I actually sat my butt down today and I did the thing. I have to clear and clean some stuff out of my studio first. And then get set up in a chair because I am not sitting on the floor for this one. I think it's going to take me the whole day to just kind of like get into it anyway. So like I said, if you're seeing that clip grow up on the screen, then you already know what happened and I'm probably already into it. So yep, thanks for listening to my crazy, still procrastinating and yet trying to actually just psych myself up to do the thing rant. Let's get into some hand painting. This process to hand paint is probably my weakest skill, like I said, not because I can't do it, but more so because I doubt my abilities at times. There are times I have to remind myself that I'm not amazing at everything on the first try, and both of those things are actually a challenge for me. First, to not excel at something that I enjoy, and also to admit it. However, unlike obtaining a perfect vocal pitch that I don't have, painting is actually an art form that I can study and practice and hopefully learn by doing. That's what I was able to do as a faux finish artist, and the funny thing that's just still so me though, I decided to do this thing that I don't feel super confident about right before a vacation. No pressure, you know. You just want to have this video out 4 days after you get back, but totally go have a great time at the coast. Like I was going to actually get this done super fast and easy. I honestly struggled with paint types. I switched out to acrylic. I had to wipe everything back at one point. This kind of went down a little bit hot messy, but I just went with it and I had a mini emotional breakdown on camera in real time. That was fun to watch back. Now that I'm back from vacation, though, it was really fun to watch back because I knew how stressed out I actually had been and how this was a terrible idea right before I went and did that. One of the problems was I couldn't get the all-in-one paints to really blend well in with the chalk paints, and switching out those paints to acrylic made all the difference. It still wasn't really what I was looking for, but I pushed through and I finished strong at the end of that day. Okay, so some of that was still a little blobby, and once I turned off the camera, I just came in with all of the same paints. I just did some mixes and whatever again if I needed it. Got some artist brushes and just kind of came in into a little bit of tapping and blending and, you know, just until it felt like it was better. And I think this is definitely better. I'm gonna leave this, and I actually am going to a place that looks just like this weekend because I need a freaking vacation. It's beach weekend. I can't wait. And when I get back, I am going to put in the ocean. So luckily for me, that's going to be 5 full days off. But for you, that's going to be like, you know, right now. Okay, and I'll see if I remember to snap when I get home. Probably not, but I don't hate this. So that's a huge win for this week for me. I had not felt as refreshed in years as I did coming back from the coast and like taking some real time off. So the morning after returning from vacation, I actually came back super stoked to get ready and back onto this piece of art, basically. I did so much disconnecting while we traveled. I did bring a computer, and I ended up creating a graphic and a video to announce my Beach Please Challenge winner. That was so much fun. Did that live time on the beach, went home, got it done, put it out. That was really fun. And you'll have to go watch that video if you want to know who won. But other than that, I was radio silent for 5 full days. Mr. CC DIY and I saw the coast, tons of it in fact. We went all the way up to Belfast, Maine, which was super fun. And we saw some family as well, some far and wide family. It was a super fun trip. And we went further north than either of us had ever been. I absorbed a lot from nature and clouds and ocean ripples and sunsets and honestly art while we were in the southern Maine coastal area, and I've got to say, I am freaking done with second guessing my creative abilities. Something I noticed while there is that art is just art. People make what they make, and I need to remember that I do the same. I do things the way I do them because I see things the way I see them, just like everyone else. I get that I'm not everyone's mint julep, but you know, that's okay. I'm more of an iced coffee with sand around the edge kind of gal anyway. I left this to dry for the day while I edited and narrated this video. It was at this point while editing that I realized I'm wearing the same colors I sprayed on my cabinet. While I touch up some of the black paint, let me say thanks for watching. If you're at the premiere, don't forget to leave a comment. And if you're new, I would love if you subscribe to my channel. You'll see a lot more projects like this one. And don't forget to give a thumbs up to this video so YouTube knows that you like it. Don't forget to leave a comment and let me know how you think I did with my abstract take on sunset over the ocean. Urethane triple thick in a satin finish is what I used on this cabinet. So with the updated black now, I want to make sure that I get a solid coat of that on the top and the front edge and the side edge above the mural, hand-painted mural. I'm super happy with these pieces and I can't wait to finish all of the furniture in my studio. However, my next big project is coming up on October 4th. My challenge theme that I picked is called Life of a Show Flipper. We're giving a nod to the Swiftiverse and refinishing pieces inspired by soon-to-be Mrs. Tay-Tay herself. I can't wait for you to see my piece. I'm doing a dresser. It's going to be so sweet, so go and get subscribed. And you can check out my Instagram for more info on how you can join the challenge too. Before and after shots are coming up next, but that's all the work I've got for today, so thanks for watching. Later, peeps! Oh yeah, and by the way, this mural is where I made my money with the Country Chic bonding primer.